Turkey Tom needs to be stopped. Turkey Tom is a rather large YouTuber that is known for his quote-unquote edginess, and he uses that pretext to pass off things and statements that would otherwise be viewed as potentially borderline racist. I mean, take a look at good old Papa John, who was almost completely deplatformed and removed from his own brand when he said the N-word on a phone call. But here we have Turkey Tom, that on numerous occasions said the N-word, and he seemingly tried to pass it all off at just as edgy humor. He also claimed that the screenshots that are up on screen right now were outdated, but here's where you can actually start seeing his true character. If you don't know already, Turkey Tom gained lots of attention by covering a case on a YouTuber called Pyrocynical, claiming that he groomed a minor with seemingly no hard evidence. As a matter of fact, he's made 3 videos on the topic over the span of a month. Now, I'm not going to take sides on this matter, however, it is insanely hypocritical to claim that this screenshot that is about 2 years old is outdated when the screenshots that he showed about Pyrocynical are over 4 years old. If you don't believe me, here's a screenshot of Tom implying that because the screenshots are a year old, they are invalid. If this were true and we applied the same logic to the Pyrocynical case, then everything that Pyrocynical said should be invalid? There's a line between being edgy and making edgy jokes and just being racist towards black people. Not to mention, when Tom tweeted saying the DMs were over a year old, they weren't. They were just over 6 months old. However, it doesn't stop there. Tom even said that saying the N-word doesn't make you racist. And D'Angelo Wallace, a well-known YouTuber with over 900,000 subscribers, made a good point, saying that if you say it in context, then of course it isn't racist. In context, he meant in a book or song, you get what I'm saying, like To Kill a Mockingbird or other songs. I personally think that saying stuff publicly like burn all the N-words is blatantly racist. Also, Tom, how are you going to tell an entire race what's racist and what isn't racist against them? This is something many comments pointed out. The tweet that Tom tweeted implied that he had control over what other people thought was racist, which is not true. Tom, you're white. You can't decide what is racist towards black people. It doesn't work like that. They decide what is racist, what they feel is racist towards them. You have absolutely no control over what makes them feel offended and what makes them feel like what you're saying is racist. And this is how it's going to be. You can't just tweet out saying the N-word isn't racist, because that is completely subjective. Some people will say yes, some people say no, and you have no control over that. Think about it like this. A celebrity slips up and says the N-word once, apologizes, and then proceeds to never say it again. In my opinion, although it was incredibly insensitive for them to say the N-word, I don't think one mistake should define someone's entire career. But in the case of Turkey Tom, he has been shown to say this word both privately and publicly, and then attempting to pass it off as it not being racist because it was an edgy joke. Edgy jokes are something that are very, very, it's pretty much a gray area when it comes to comedy, because some people feel like it's insensitive and some people think like that it's completely fine. But I don't think making edgy jokes like this tweet that is up on screen right now that I've showed before, that isn't an edgy joke. And not to mention, he has done many, many, many videos in which he has encouraged anti-Semitic jokes. And now I'm not going to show proof of this because D'Angelo Wallace made a great video on this, which I think you should watch if you're interested in the topic of Turkey Tom. But he's made very, very, very many anti-Semitic jokes, and although he says that these are just jokes, which they are, don't get me wrong, but what this does, like D'Angelo Wallace said in his video, is it encourages anti-Semitic people in his comments to agree with him. He is bringing in anti-Semitic crowds, and those are the people that are watching his videos. And like he said, do you really want your fan base to be anti-Semitic people? I mean, that to me doesn't feel like an actual audience. That to me feels like you're catering towards them just to get a bit more attention in your videos. I mean, making those jokes isn't funny. I mean, and he's done it multiple times in the Discord messages. I cut some of them out, but in the Discord messages, some of them are indeed anti-Semitic. For example, I'm going to put one up on screen right now in which he says that one of his Patreon tiers is for greedy Jews, which is an anti-Semitic joke. And yes, you could pull this off and say that it's another edgy joke, but then again, he's done this multiple times, privately and publicly. It's hard to believe that his character is just... This isn't edgy. Edgy jokes is saying something. It's like dark humor. Edgy jokes shouldn't be directly anti-Semitic or directly racist. I mean, and then saying that both publicly and privately isn't a good image. To conclude, Turkey Tom has a long history of being hypocritical and blatantly racist, and then passing it off as humor, and then not apologizing, to my knowledge. That is another thing that I didn't go too much into this episode because I didn't feel like it needed that much of an explanation. But Turkey Tom hasn't apologized about any of these claims. He even tweeted out saying that he wasn't going to apologize when D'Angelo Wallace made a tweet at him, because I guess he wants to keep his image as an edgy humor person, when it really makes him look like a big anti-Semitic racist. But hey, we all have our fan bases, right? It seems to me like the standards that would be applied to a regular person aren't being applied to him just because he is putting on the edgy personality. Like, if you went out to a mall and you said these jokes that he's making, people would automatically assume that you're racist. And just because this is the character he's playing doesn't make it right, okay? If I go kill someone and then say, oh, I killed him as a joke, that's not automatically gonna make it so I don't face any repercussions. This is racist behavior, the one that Turkey Tom is saying. But yeah, this is pretty much all I have to say. But then again, the use of the N-word is highly subjective, so feel free to leave your opinions in the comments below. I want to thank all of you for the amazing support on my last video, and I want to thank this dude for suggesting that I script my videos. This video was scripted if you haven't realized already. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, and stay beautiful.